You've tamed the voices in your head. You've put your courage to the test. Laid all your doubts.
Hey everyone, and welcome from your Intuition Queen to a new episode of the Intuitive Queens podcast. Before I start to dive into the new topic of today, I just want to remind you a couple of things. You can sign up to the newsletter if you want to be updated on every new podcast episode coming out, and also on what I'm doing in terms of work that I'm doing, a little bit more about color therapy, intuition, human design, energy healing, emotional healing, and so much more. You know, all the things that I like to talk about in the podcast. And if you're following me on Instagram, you also can see that how color can help you and all of that. I promise you, I'm not a spammer, so you only receive emails every now and again. Also, just to remind you that pretty much every week I go live on my Instagram, either by myself or with my guest, to talk about something more about either something that we talked about in the podcast. If you want to hear more about their stories, if you want to ask questions, please do not be afraid to come and join us and ask questions. You can either send them to me, and if you want them to be anonymous, then just tell me. I rather you ask me for that than don't show up at all, don't ask questions. It's always so nice when you can actually ask questions directly to the person that maybe has inspired you. All right, so don't be shy, message me and or join us live and come ask questions. I'm sure that you have a lot of questions for my guests or for myself. Don't be shy, we're here for you. All right, let's dive into the topic of today. And I called it You're Born a Healer, and there is no certification that can give you that unless you start to use your gifts. And this is a topic that it's really dear and near to me, or near and dear to me, because it's something that I also struggle with. A lot of us, if you've been following me, if you're listening to the podcast, if you like the people I'm bringing on the podcast, all of us are healers. And if you're a woman, pretty much you're a healer too. But also, if you're a man, I think we're all healers at some point in our lives. We just don't recognize that part of ourselves so much. And, you know, you might be thinking this is not for you, but I am sure that you will resonate with what I'm about to say. You know, we are in a time where more and more women and more people are getting into this path of spirituality, and for a lot of different reasons, women have started to realize that they want more, they want to do more, they want to give more. And so many of us have started over the years to start taking courses and leave their jobs to do something different, to do something that will make them feel happy while they're making someone else happy because they're helping that other person. And a lot of us started to really wanting to tune into our intuition, and really wanted to tune into our body, and really figure out, okay, so what does this mean? And one thing that I never really understood, or actually I do understand it, but one thing that I know is that when you go for a job description, they will never ask you how high is your intuition. That's not something, a skill required in a job description. Nobody has this in the job description. And I think this is a miss for the society and for us, because it's basically telling us that the only way for us to be successful and be deemed right for the job is to use our mind and our mind skills and nothing else. Our intuition is so powerful, and the fact that oftentimes we're not able to back it up with evidence, not at the moment we have that intuitive hit. We might be able to do it later on, but in a workplace, this is very difficult to use. I know, I mean, you can use it at times, but it's not something you can rely on 100%, because when you work with other people, they will start to question it. And oftentimes it's not easy for us to start to say, oh, you know, I just had an intuitive hit and I think we should maybe invest in this or do that. because people don't want to take responsibility of, first of all, something that cannot be proved, but also something that doesn't come from themselves, but someone else, right? And I understand that. But this is making people realize that it's not the way to go. And of course, with the pandemic, everyone has had to restructure their lives. And a lot of people started to ask, what exactly do I want? Because, working from home for a lot of people has been a blessing, even if it has been long and not necessarily all the time great, but has made people realize that what they want is not to be just soldiers or pawns that are just used by other people. They just want to be themselves, and they want to use their skills fully without being told what to do, how to do it, and what's wrong with you, right? And so a lot of us have started to slowly get in touch to our intuition. So what is happening is that more and more people are starting to do things on the side, like they're starting to get in tune with, I don't know, tarot or maybe crystals or any other practices that might fall into the category of spirituality, and like EFT or any other practices. And this is just because people are slowly realizing that it's time to really get back to ourselves. It's really time to start to listen to ourselves. Although I understand this is very difficult because society keeps telling us that we still shouldn't do it. Oftentimes, family tells us that it's crazy what we're doing. And this might be very difficult if you're starting to go on a path or just be curious about it, and have people going against you. So, for a lot of us, this has been a thing. I have always been a healer, and I posted this on Monday, but I had to really wait for me to be able to feel comfortable in saying this. And when I took my certification as a coach, I knew that I wanted to use Reiki and color therapy and crystals and whatever else, and cards to help my clients even better, because I knew I was so in tune with my intuition, and I knew I could be of more value to them. But my ego and my fear started to kick in, and I started to be like, but who am I to go around and say I'm a coach and a healer? I just got a certification that I'm a coach, so I'm barely a coach, let alone a healer. I haven't taken any certification. I haven't done anything of that sort. I haven't done any courses. Yes, I've been studying by myself for years. In fact, I remember one of my friends telling me, you only need a piece of paper, didn't you? Because you already were a coach. And this was true, because a lot of people were coming to me saying, I need to talk to you because I feel better. And why don't you become a coach? You are a coach. And for me, that was kind of like, what? Are you crazy? Yeah, I mean, I love doing this, but I can't really consider myself a coach. And I had to take the certification to feel like I was one. And so when I started to use healing modalities in my coaching, and I started even to get reviews from my clients, I still did not feel comfortable in saying to myself that I was a healer. And I know this is like that for so many of us. I posted something on Monday, and my healer, who is amazing, also said to me, yeah, this was something I struggle with, and I know. And this is for a few reasons, really. So for the ones of you that are already into this field and might want to start calling themselves healer or something else, or you're just starting to get attuned to those modalities and you start to get interested and want to practice more, I have a little suggestion for you to avoid getting into that, because your ego is going to try to sidetrack you and avoid you go around saying that you are, I don't know, a coach, a healer, or whatever it is, a tarot reader, EFT practitioner or anything else that it's not considered like a normal logical thing, right? Where every intuitive based practice might be considered something a little bit too much out there for a lot of people. So if you're getting into those practices, whichever side you are, maybe you're starting now or you've been into this a lot. I have a lot of clients that start in a kind of a more logical way. Maybe they become coaches, and then as they go, they want to start to use their spiritual gift, but they have this conflict of how am I going to do this? How are people going to take this? And am I going to lose clients? Are people going to start to take the piss out of me or things like that? And I know those are questions that come to you when you are in this in between kind of phase where you feel you're no longer just that part of you and you're tuning into this more intuitive part of yourself, but you don't feel like you can just go all in because you haven't yet absorbed and integrated this part of you to feel comfortable enough to go around and say it. So whichever part of the journey you're on, what I would suggest you do is to just talk to the people that you trust and that you know they will support you. You don't need to say this to everyone because you don't really want to have a conversation with someone that questions you every 5 minutes. And especially at the beginning, you might not really even find the right words to explain that. And it's not because you're not good at what you do, it's only because you're not comfortable yet and you really don't want to be questioned just for the sake of being questioned. You don't want to be questioned by people that are trying to find a gap within you, and they're trying to maybe make fun of you. You want to answer questions of people that are truly interested in what you do, but that's a different energy. You will feel it. So if you're in this journey, just make sure that you do this only with the people that you know love you and trust you, and that you trust, and that will support you. And if you're on social media, well, you know, people come and go, clients come and go. You're not gonna be liked for you're not gonna be liked by everybody all the times, and even your clients at some point, you know, they will stop following you. So don't stop your transformation just because you feel that you might lose people because maybe your previous clients were more logical. Also because you don't really know. They might have liked that part of you because they felt they needed it, but it doesn't mean that they're not spiritual. They might not like what the new addition to your programs or to your business. So this is a very important suggestion that I make, that I give to you, because I've been there and I know my clients always struggle with this, and they mainly struggle because of their family. And so you don't need to tell them everything, right? You can just tell them what you feel comfortable with, and then just keep reading and keep studying and keep doing your things. And just it's kind of like attune your muscle, like make sure that your muscle gets stronger. So in you continuing to learn about what you want, and in using your gifts, that's how you get stronger. So when you get to a point that people start questioning you, you're able to say, well, this is who I am, this is what I do, and if you're not going to be nice about it, then there is no need for us to talk about it. I know it can sound difficult sometimes with people that you love and trust, but it's necessary to create boundaries especially when you're not feeling so sure about yourself yet. So the reason why we're surrounded by people that are skeptical, it's only fear. People are skeptical of what they don't know and what they don't understand. And I believe also that to an extent, those people also on a deeper level, they know that your intuitive gifts are actually going to help them to release stuff. but they're just too scared and afraid to dive deep into it. And so they reject you, trying to ridicule you or saying that this is bullshit or that you can't do it, it doesn't make sense, and whatever else they might be saying to you. So if you're surrounded by those people, just let them be, and just be compassionate to yourself and be compassionate to them, because the reality is they are just too scared to even come to you and ask for help. And I strongly believe that they might think you could help them, but something, their ego is telling them, no, stay in fear. It's much better than knowing so much about yourself. And so that's fine. This is what society has told us to do. If you know anything about the witch wound, which is when, back in the days, all the witches were born, burnt at stake. This is what it is. And that energy is just coming through now and asking all of us. And it's not a coincidence that so many women are rising up to the occasion. It's because this energy and those gifts are asking us, free us. We're here to heal as many people as possible. So we're here to heal the collective. And if you're being called, then this is for you too. And I'm sure it is, because if you've been following me, if you've been listening to this podcast for this long, and if you're still listening to what I'm saying today, then you are a healer. And you probably are interested in a lot of different spiritual stuff. And it might not be that this is a profession for you like it is for a lot of people, but just the fact that you're interested in those things, I'm sure that you're that kind of person that will use what she knows with the people she loves. And so that makes you a healer anyway. You don't need the title on the job description, right? And I just want you to feel comfortable with this. I just really want you to tune into your healing part of yourself, and really trust that this is the most beautiful part of yourself, and you're here for a reason. And you're here maybe to heal your neighborhood without becoming anything else. But whatever it is, the mission for you, know that you're here for this reason, and that's okay. And if there are skeptical people around you, let them go, let them be. We are all on a different journey, and as long as you shine bright your light, it's all okay. One question that might be helpful for you is to figure out, who are you scared of? Because for a lot of us coaches and healers, the majority of us are scared to show our light brightly, because when we were children we were told bad things, and maybe we don't want to be seen because we don't want to get in trouble, because when we were being ourselves as children, maybe one of our parents or both will tell us off, and we learn to just keep quiet to avoid getting in trouble and to avoid create trouble, right? So ask yourself, exactly, tune into yourself, take a deep breath and ask yourself, who am I afraid of? What it's blocking me from shining my life and talking about my spiritual gifts and my intuitive gifts? And see what comes through for you. I'm pretty sure you will have a major breakthrough, because this happens all the times. And just really listen about your body, your intuition. What is she saying? Is it like something that comes from your childhood? And maybe it's not. Maybe it comes from past life or an ancestral situation. You never know. But it's always really interesting and important to learn more about yourself. And you can do that by yourself, just asking questions, and journal about it, or use some tools, whatever that might be. Or if you want to dig deeper, you can always get in touch and we can talk about it. All right, I'm just gonna make it quick today, but I want to give you something to help you out if you want to start to tune into your intuitive gift a little bit more. So depending on where you are at, if you have just started, if you just want to tune into your intuition. Maybe you feel disconnected, or you feel like you're not always connected, or you cannot trust it all the time. So it kind of works sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time. Or for a lot of people I know, it works for others, but it doesn't work on them. The easiest thing that I want to suggest to you is to download my free guides. I have one guide that it's called Learn to Connect to Your Intuition, Feel More Confident. In the other one, it's called What Do Colors Say About You? You can find the links in the show notes, or you can find them on my website. And both of those guides have some exercises to help you tune into your intuition and really get more out of it, and play with it and see how you feel about it. And what I've been told by my clients is that, or by the people that downloaded it, is that it was great. That it was actually helpful to see on the small things how your intuition works. That can help you to feel a little bit more confident about yourself and about how your intuition works, so that you can do experiments that are a little bit bigger, and help yourself a little bit more, and help yourself in trusting. And then, as usual, if you want to get in touch, to even just let me know what came through from doing the exercises on the guides, or just have a chat, I'm here, and you can find me on the links in the show notes. And also, what I want to say is that you probably you're more advanced than you think you are. So you're probably going to be surprised on how your intuition works, and it works way more and better than you think it does. This is just because you're probably being present, and so that's easier for you to recognize yourself. But please do let me know, and do journal on the things that are coming through for you. That's also another good way for you to understand more about yourself. So if you're more advanced and you're feeling like you don't know how to incorporate your intuitive gift, or you feel stuck, or you feel like it's very difficult for you to do it, or you're just worrying about it, the first thing that I suggest is just write down everything that's coming through for you. Whenever you feel that way, just as a stream of consciousness, take a pen and a piece of paper and just write everything down, whatever it is coming through. Because oftentimes, or take a recorder and just start talking about it, if writing feels difficult for you. But and talk about it. Talk about what is it that you're doing. Like, I don't know, say that you want to use Reiki, you want to use a lot of people do intuitive sessions like I do. And what does that mean, right? How am I gonna help you? I know that I can help you in healing physical pain, in healing emotional pain. I can explain you that, but what does that mean for you? So start to write down what are your gifts, and what is it that you want to incorporate in your business or just life, right? How does that make you feel? What is coming through for you when you think about sharing this to the people that you love, and telling to the world that this is what you do? And just let it go. See what comes through for you. Whenever you write, there's always something coming on that you might not think about if you're just very focused on not doing it, right? So just let it be. Just let it be a stream of consciousness, and just let it flow. And maybe talking, it's the best way, because you're going faster, and you can pretend to be talking to a friend instead of talking to the microphone of your phone, for example. And just explain this to yourself, explain that to your higher self, and explain why you feel blocked about it, what makes you feel fearful about it, who are you afraid of? Because oftentimes it's because we're afraid of someone, right, or something. So oftentimes we're afraid of being judged. So who are we afraid of being judged by? Is it our family? Most of us, it's the family first. If you have been listening to the podcast episodes, a lot of my guests talk about fearing to tell the family first and then the other people, right? So it's about getting to know yourself and getting to know your fears and what is blocking you, and that it's going to help you to unblock yourself, or at least to shift something within you and to learn something more about yourself. And once you have a better understanding of this, what I would suggest you do is that you sit down somewhere quiet and you start to picture your life as you wish your life was. So let's say that you want to be a Reiki practitioner and do tarot, for example. And right now, you're just either at the beginning stages, or you're doing it but you're not saying anything to anybody. Whichever situation you're in, just sit down and really start to visualize, where do you want to be, how do you want to behave, how do you want your life to be in that kind of sense, and how do you want to use your gift. Do you want to have your own personal studio, for example? Do you want to work with other people? How many people do you want to work with? And start to really tune into that picture and that part of yourself that is already doing it, and everything is fine, and everyone is supportive, and everything is okay. And be as descriptive as you can, as possible, and also tune into this feeling of abundance, of happiness that this vision can give to you. And once you have a perfect picture, try to take a mental snap, and then make sure that you recreate this mental snap somewhere, maybe on your journal, maybe on a vision board. And now when you have that there, start to think about the reason why you feel stuck. Where do you feel that in your body? What kind of situation comes to mind? Is there a person that comes to mind? And that is going to help you to really understand where is your blockage coming from, right? So stay with that, stay with the feeling, stay with the whatever situation is coming through for you. And then again, start journaling about it. Like, how does your fear feel? What color it is? And really tune into everything that is coming through. And I'm pretty sure you will have a major breakthrough. And from there, you can take some steps in order for you to release that fear and to continue to do what you're doing. Then, of course, if you feel that what is coming through is a little bit too heavy for you to handle, or you just feel like you want some guidance, my program, Discover Your True Colors, is made to help you in that way. It's either a 8 weeks or a 12 weeks program, and it really is to help you, first of all, to understand yourself and your energies, and then to really help you to tune into your intuition and to your spiritual gifts, and release all the reasons why you feel stuck, trapped, and anything that is blocking you from really shining your light. So we will dive deep and do quite a lot of emotional and energy healing there, because that is necessary. You really need to peel off the layers. And I promise you that I'll make you laugh even if we're doing some heavy work, because I believe that you can do some shadow work and you don't have to be always crazy serious about it. I think it's important to release and understand all the repressed emotions so you can let them go, but that doesn't always have to be heavy. So if this is something that you might feel interested in, and you feel it's time for you to shine your light, then you can just book a discovery call with me, or just message me, and we can talk about it. And the discovery call is probably the best thing for you to do, so we can have a quick chat and understand a little bit more about yourself, and you can decide if the program is for you and how long do you want to go for. But really, don't be afraid to ask for help whenever you feel there maybe you feel too stuck. And we're here to shine our light bright, and sometimes it takes a little, sometimes it takes a lot, but we're here. And If our gifts are calling us to be free, well, this is what we're here for. We need to help them, right? And I hear so many of you saying, I feel this, I hear this, I see this, but it's also scaring. And I don't want you to feel discouraged about your powerful gift just because maybe you're around discouraging people. I want you to find a community that is supportive. And there are so many, so many. As I said at the beginning of the podcast, of the episode, there are so many women rising up to the occasion, and we're all finally sharing our gifts and sharing and showing them up. So if you feel you need a community, I have a Facebook group that it's called Discover Your True Colors, and there are amazing women there. And I share a lot of things and trainings and stuff about intuition and color therapy and a lot of different things and everything that I'm learning, the energies of the moment that I'm feeling. So feel free to join if you're looking for a community that will support you, whatever stage you're in. It doesn't matter. All right. Okay. So this is it for this episode. I've been quick this time. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'd love for you to let me know. I'm always very happy to hear that you listen to my podcast here and there, and whatever has helped you to go through whatever situation. This is the reason why I'm doing it. So when you let me know, it really makes me the happiest person ever. And as usual, you can find me on my website, theintuitionqueen.com. You can find all my offers there. You can have a color reading with me, an intuitive reading. You can have a card reading with me. And also you can have a look at my programs. And also you can find me on Instagram, The Intuition Queen. And you will find a lot of explanations on how to use colors and what color mean. And also you can find me on my Facebook group, Discover Your True Colors, and you can join me there. It will be fun. And it's a new community, but it's slowly growing community. So I'd love to have you there and enjoy with you and help you as much as I can. And if you love this episode, if you like this episode or all the other episodes, feel free to leave a review. I'll be very honored to hear your comments, and very thankful for that. Okay, well, I think this is it for today. Thank you so much for listening and for watching, and I will see you next time. Ciao.
Your future's at the door.